Cuffs are off, man. Get right. Too many left in these leagues, but I ain't going.
Hey everybody, Adam Rank here.
What's up everybody? It's Marcus Grant from NFL Network.
This is AJ Dillon of the Green Bay Packers.
I got to give a shout out to y'all at Get Right Fantasy.
If you are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? You want to lose your league?
Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network.
You got to get right with the Get Right Fantasy Network.
Best of luck with your podcast. Appreciate the support.
And you're tuned in to watch my boys at Get Right Fantasy Network. Get you right. Enjoy the show.
Marking nothing, but I tune in every Friday. Strategies provided, I will lock in every way. So go and roll your sleeves up. Yeah, don't roll your sleeves up. And I'm getting down, cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting right, cause I roll my sleeves up.
What up, world? Welcome back. I'm Classic Mike, and this is the Get Right Fantasy Network. Unfortunately, Rasta is not here tonight. He's a tad under the weather, but he will be back for Monday's Overreaction show, so don't worry about that. Tonight is our game-by-game previews and start-sit advice, and of course, taking your questions from the chat, and we will have a quick recap of the Thursday night football game between the Ravens and Bengals. A lot of stuff going on. We'll get to that shortly. For those that are new to the channel, check out the ticker below. This is our normal schedule of shows. And also what we are giving away. So we have, so Ross is not going to be late. He's not going to be here at all. So Ron, he will not be here. Other than that, Monday, we do our overreaction show. Like I said before, waiver wire targets as well. Wednesday, roster management, buy, sell targets. And then Friday, of course, we're here like we are right now, game by game, start sit live Q&A show. We will get those all out for you. And then I'm back on Sunday mornings with actives and inactives, last minute start sit advice, getting your lineups right before kickoff. Make sure you guys also, check back later. We're going to have timestamps and chapters that will, be in the description since this show tends to go a little bit longer than most. Make sure you guys check that out in the description. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Sub to the channel. Hit that like button if you have. Thank you for all that have helped us exceed 1,000 subscriptions. We are really, really happy we have gotten over that particular bump. Check out our 1,000 subscriber giveaway video. It's tagged up at the top right here. Make sure you guys check out that video. Make sure you guys fill out, go to the comments and fill it out. Make sure you guys watch the whole video. Make sure you guys comment with the hashtag that is in the video. Make sure you check that out. And also, we will be giving that away the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So I think next Wednesday, we will be giving that away. So make sure you guys check that out. Make sure you guys also check out our good friends over here at TrophySmack.com. And when you do, you can get anything that you want, like the ring we are going to be giving away right here. This is going to be the ring that we are giving away. And then you can make your own ring. You can make your own trophy. You can make your own belt. You can make your own, custom keychain. So, necklace. So make sure you guys check that out on TrophySmack.com. Use the promo code GETRIGHT, and they will help you out at checkout. So we got a lot blown up in the chat. Don't worry, boys and girls. I see you there, and I will get to you shortly. We're going to be going over the Thursday night recap. We have so much going on this particular Thursday night game. We got Smokey the Cat in the house saying what up to Ron, saying what up to me as well. Lost Burrow, have Chase, picked up Stafford. Hey, man, that might be the best thing you can do at this point. I had Burrow as well. I have Jared Goff behind him, and I ended up picking up Sam Howell, just in case. So who else do we got in the chat? We got, Will Hayes in the house. What's going on, Will Hayes? He asks right off the bat. We got Albert as well. Love to see you, Albert. Glad that you are here. Look at this. We got so many people jumping into the chat. I absolutely love it. So Will goes Monty or A-Chain at full PPR. Full PPR, I might go to a chain, but let's just be clear. He still isn't clear yet. He still is considered an IR designation. I understand there's a high probability he will be off that. But I'm just trying to make that clear. If it's PPR, I have to lean a chain, even though I like Monty. Monty is definitely, I have a chain ranked currently at 8 and Monty at 12. So I can't advise you not to do that. So I think I'm going to go with a chain for now until I hear different. Unfortunately, I'm so high on Monty. It's kind of hard to get off of that. So Ron thinks that he said that I'd play a chain, but most likely I would play both. Who you playing over that? Yeah, I'm in the same boat as well. George Cook, what's going on, man? Glad to have you in the show. He says, do I start Dell or Brandon Ayuk? I can play both, but I need to bench Aaron Jones or Javonte Williams. Do it. Play both. The only one out of that group that I would play, other than Aaron Jones, is probably Javonte Williams. But I feel so much better, especially if it's PPR with Tank Dell and Brandon Ayuk. I'd rather play those two all day over the other two. We'll get into Aaron Jones a little bit later, but just make it clear. I'm not going to ever suggest anybody playing Aaron Jones. A friend of mine asked me the other day about Aaron Jones and Ramondre Stevenson. I went, neither, but Stevenson. So Damian Velasquez, he goes, lost Joe Burrow last night. So did we all. Would you trade Ramondre Stevenson for Justin Fields or just claim Russell Wilson off of waivers? It's not a bad choice, man. Honestly, I mean, if you're able to give away Ramondre Stevenson for Justin Fields and you have a pretty good depth at running back, I'd be okay with that. Like, if Stevenson's your number 4 running back, I'd be okay with that move. If not, I would probably lean towards going with Russell Wilson. I wouldn't trade away your top asset if he's the one, because I'm going to sit here and tell you in a lot of leagues, I have Ramondre Stevenson as my number 1. So for me to trade away that guy for Justin Fields, I just wouldn't do it. Russell's been pretty steady lately. He's not going to put up the numbers he did in his prime, but he will give you a really middling, 15 to 20 points to get you through the week. That's all you really need, to be fair. Everyone wants these 30-point games, and, believe me, I get it. But you want your quarterback to be consistently at a certain point and stay there. You don't want him constantly dipping and dopping like freaking Burrow was. But yeah, I would, if I had depth at running back, I would go for Fields. If not, just stick with what you got, brother. You got decent things. He says, I have a chain, Jerome Ford, and Jaylen Warren. Okay. So essentially, he's your running back 2. Yeah, if your running backs aren't that deep, man, I probably would just go with Russell and I wouldn't say roll the dice, but he's consistent. There's no point in trading away assets when you don't need to. Don't overthink it. Chris Cook, what's going on, man? Glad to have you here. He says, hi, I need a wide receiver 3. Do I put Scary Terry or Devontae Smith? Both have good matchups this week. Devontae Smith, I have Devontae. I'm playing him, but I don't have Scary Terry. Terry is in a good matchup. Well, in a bad match. Well, sorry. Good for him, bad for me. But in a good matchup, I don't think you can go wrong here. I think to me, they're just, you have the number 1 or the number 2. And Smith has been playing second fiddle to AJ Brown. Do you have to think, are the Eagles going to be in negative game script at Arrowhead? I don't know. I don't think so. But at the end of the day, Scary Terry, Sam Howell's throwing the ball all day long. I would probably play Scary Terry over Devontae, even though I like Devontae a little more. So going back to George, he goes, so play Jones over Williams. No. Play Williams over Jones. If you're going to play a running back. All I was saying is if you're going to play one of those two guys, it's Williams. But if you're not going to play either one of them, I would definitely be playing those two wide receivers. I have no problem playing both of them. I think they're both very effective. And I agree. This is why I like Williams. He gets 20 touches a week, and I feel like he's bound to get into the end zone against Minnesota. Agreed. Completely agreed. So stick to it. Go for it. Look at who it is. It's Rasta in the chat helping me out over here. Thanks for holding it down. Of course, man. Get better. That's all we need. We need you to get better. Perry Williams in the house. He goes, it might get vetoed, but I just traded Chase and Walker for Olave and Cook. What up, Mike? I don't know if that will get vetoed. It shouldn't. Vetoes are dumb. Vetoes are just dumb. What up, Perry? He's like, sorry, I had to reject the trade, brother. I'm out of it, so I shouldn't be trading. Yeah, don't trade roster right now. Just leave him alone. He's trying to recuperate. And get off of him for being on time. Jesus. I'm always on time. Anyway, let's break down this Thursday night matchup. We had a rough one last night, ladies and gentlemen. It was a just slobber knocker. Baltimore just took it to the Bengals, unfortunately. There were casualties on both sides, and I mean, this is a tough one. Big news from this game is the loss of Joe Burrow and Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews is out for the year. He has a severe ankle sprain. He ended up breaking his fibular bone and ankle tendon as well. So he's got a lot of things going on with his ankle. They're trying to get a second opinion to maybe think he might be back, but honestly, he ain't. I don't see that happening. Burrow is out with a torn tendon in his wrist. That's going to require surgery. So honestly, these are two huge injuries. Both are season ending. They will both be out. You're going to start seeing that a lot more with injuries that are a little bit more than a couple weeks. So anytime you hear it, just, double check to see how long it might be. But these are two injuries for both teams, and we're going to break those down in a short second. There's a few questions coming through the chat that I want to go over just because they seem relevant at the moment. There we go. So we got Chris Cook asking, Stroud, Howell, Herbert, or Dobbs? Damn. So this is a tough one for me. Herbert is the better quarterback. Stroud is right about there. Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Ron here. It's Herbert, then Stroud, Dobbs. Well, I would actually switch Howell and Dobbs. That's how I would do it. I just prefer Howell the way he's been playing. He's QB6 on the year. He's been playing out of his mind. So yeah, I'm gonna probably lean Herbert a little more than Stroud, even though I do not mind Stroud at all. If he's my starting quarterback, I might play him. But honestly, let me see. He's going against Arizona, which is a great matchup. Herbert's going against Green Bay, which is another great matchup. Jair Alexander is going to be out. I'm good with either or, but I prefer Herbert at the moment. So, yeah, going to have to go with you there. Kernith goes, everyone's tearing their tendons. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Wrist tendon connects to the hand. It's huge. If you saw him grip that ball, it was tough, man. And I felt bad for the guy when he was just trying to throw it a couple feet. Like he grabbed it and then it I felt so bad for him. So let's start with the Baltimore side of the ball. And Baltimore lost Andrews. Honestly, this doesn't really hurt them that much. It's one of those things where they can get over Andrews being or not being there. Lamar's going to just be Lamar. He has a safe rushing floor for him to be okay. He has better receivers than he did last year, so he'll definitely be fine moving forward. I think Bateman takes a little bit of a step up after that touchdown last night. He looked a lot better than he has recently. They're going to have to target him a little more just because he's a little bit of a bigger receiver than most of the guys on the field. Flowers should see a little bit of an uptick. Isaiah Likely is obviously the answer to who you're replacing with Andrews, but I think there's also a good amount on the waiver wire or in free agency that you can go grab a decent tight end to fill the void. Caden Auden, Trey McBride might be out there. Trying to think of some other guys. I like Tanner Hudson too on the other side of the ball, but I don't know for redraft. But either way, there's a lot of guys that are out there currently that can fill. Well, you can never fill the void of Mark Andrews, but you can at least have somebody to man the helm while you're going, and you can even stream the tight end if you really absolutely had to. So for Cincy, it's a tad more complicated. Browning is not the guy. I think it brings Chase down to a mid wide receiver too, unfortunately. He, of course, always will have the wide receiver one upside, but unfortunately, he is now down to that mid wide receiver two floor, if not even a little bit lower than that. He had 2 points prior to that garbage touchdown. I'm facing Chase this week. That was garbage. Other than that, I view him kind of like Adams, Wilson, more in their situations, like when they had their rookie quarterbacks. It's tough. Unfortunately, the only people, the other receivers also get kind of a downgrade. Higgins, Boyd, they kind of take a big hit. I think the only person in this offense that gets a bump is Joe Mixon. He is going to get a massive bump. So he is somebody that you can roll with. Somebody I think that you, like I said before, that you should keep your eye on is Tanner Hudson. He actually is seeing the ball a ton the last few weeks. I understand it was mostly with Burrow in, but you also saw it with Browning as well. You could see that Browning is more of a check down guy. So for me, I feel comfortable with going with Tanner Hudson. Like I said, he's not Kelsey or anything, but he's definitely someone that can help you in Dynasty if you're looking. Yeah. So let's get back to questions. We got Perry in the house. He has a question. Perry goes, Murray or Dobbs this week? I think I'm going to have to go with Murray. Have to. Right now, Dobbs is going against the Broncos. Broncos look pretty good against the Bills last week. Murray having a little bit of a tougher matchup against Houston. Houston is more of a pass rushing defense than they are a run defense. They've been doing okay recently. They're actually one of the better defenses in the league because of D'Amico Ryans. But I'm still going to lean Kyle Murray. He has I like that a little bit better. So Ron says Mixon might get the yards bump, but huge negative touchdown regression. Yeah, unfortunately. Kyler or Tua? Interesting. That's a great question. I'm going Tua. Going against the Raiders. I think you have to play Tua until the wheels fall off. Like, it's one of those things where, you can't not play Tua. He's just too good. Too good. Houston is actually, from the numbers that I have, they are 30th best against the QB. there, Ronnie. 30th best. So I wouldn't be too much against that. Randy in the house. What up, Randy? He goes, traded Waddle and Brees for Tyreek. Okay. PPR, what you think? Running backs are Ford and Gibbs. Wide receivers are Tyreek, Amon-Ra, and Devontae Smith. I like it. I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. I think you're getting an upgrade at wide receiver for sure. Your wide receivers are studs. I wouldn't say weak at running back, but you are definitely middling at running back, losing Brees. But you're making your wide receiver group more top heavy, which is fine. But I think that's fine. Both are consistent or have been consistent lately. Both are doing just fine. I think they're going to have to lean on Ford a little bit more just because of Thompson Robinson. Honestly, I think DTR helps Ford a little bit, just opening it up with RPO and all that. So, yeah, I'm good with that. Randy goes, Lamar is his quarterback. Okay, cool. No, that's great. I like that team, man. That good for you. Good trade. Richard, what's going on, Richard? Glad to have you here. Hope all is well. He goes, need a wide receiver too. Standard league, Deontay Johnson, Ridley, or Jacoby Myers. I'm going to have to lean Deontay. Here. I know it's a bad matchup against the Browns, but they're going to be a negative game script, throwing the ball, more opportunity for a touchdown. Ridley's hard to trust. And Jacoby Myers has taken a back seat with Aiden O'Connell. So Randy goes, I'm just not as high on Brees as the community is. That's fine. As long as everyone else is high on him, which clearly they were. You might have gave up a smidge too much to get him or to get Tyreek, but I think at the end of the day it made sense because no one's going to give you Waddle for Tyreek straight up. And that makes sense. I probably would have tried to do Waddle and Ford so you can keep him and get, Brees and Gibbs. But that's me. I don't mind the trade though. So I think it worked out in your favor. So Richard goes, need a tight end because Andrews is out. Just offered Kirk, Ford, tight end Ferguson. Oh, okay. I would do that. If someone's willing to, you have decent depth at wide receiver to hold Kirk. Yeah. Or to get rid of Kirk. Yeah. Yeah, I would do that. Cam, what's going on? How you doing, man? He goes, start Dobbs or Purdy this week. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Brock Purdy versus Tampa. We got Dobbs versus Denver. I don't mind Purdy here. I think I'm going to roll with Purdy. I feel comfortable with Purdy. Then he asks Amari Cooper or Nico Collins this week. I think they're both at the same tier, but for me, it's Nico Collins. Better quarterback, better matchup. I'm going to go with Nico Collins here. I have Collins and Cooper right next to each other at 26 and 27. So I feel good with Nico Collins. He'll take on whatever happened to with Noah Brown being doubtful. They list him. I've seen him listed as out, questionable, and doubtful. So I have no freaking idea what's going on. Rasta goes, Cam, Dobbs if JJ plays, and Nico. I have the same decision in my higher stakes home league, and I'm going Collins. I'll be in it with you if you go for that route. Likewise, I have Nico Collins in every league I'm in except for like 2. So I play Nico everywhere. But yeah, I am very cool with the trade that you made, Richard, or if you're going to be trading for Ferguson. I think Ferguson is a top 10 tight end. So especially the way Dak has been playing. So you can't go wrong there. And you know what? That is a wonderful transition into the first game of the night. We have the Cowboys, who are 6-3, at the Panthers, who are 1-8. Dallas is favored by 5.5. The over/under is 42 points. The only injuries that I can talk about that anyone would care about is Hayden Hurst. He will be out for this game. Bryce Young was on the injury report earlier in the week and was taken off a little bit later. The other news is that Frank Reich is taking back play calling duties from the OC. So it's a little bit different this week, which is good. Cowboys are pretty healthy at this point. And yeah, you give me control of this there, Rasta. This is what's going to happen, man. Anyway, it's the only way I can put the dagger in, because they're killing us otherwise. In this matchup, I think Adam Thielen should bounce back and have a get right game. I think he'll do just fine this week. It's a good match. It should be a good matchup for him. As long as Brees can stay upright and get the ball out quick, I think he'll be fine. I don't think you're playing Chuba Hubbard. I have him benched everywhere that I can. No one else really on the team that really matters. Cowboys, you're loading up everybody. Throw them in and have fun. At this point, Cowboys are actually one of the better defenses against the run. They're the third best against the running backs, second best against the wide receiver. So it's hard to trust any of those particular options. But Carolina is actually third best against the wide receiver, but they are very bad against the run. So this is a game for Tony Pollard. Hopefully Tony Pollard can go off for those that have him. I don't. I've been trying to get him. He actually has a really good schedule. He's someone that I would strongly suggest going out and trying to buy currently if you can, just because he is somebody that I think can have a really good playoff run if you will. So first off, no, I'm gonna jump right in right here. I'm going to tell everybody to never play this guy ever again. He should not be played at all, ever. Where is he? Hold on. So Ron goes, tell Mike to stop telling people not to play Aaron Jones. He is running back 15 this week. I don't care if he's running back 1. He's not somebody that has shown anything. He's not even in the top 40. Just let him be. He is a waste of time. The whole Packers offense is a waste of time. I said it at the beginning of the year. I'm sticking to it. I've been doing very well. So Rasta says, yeah, I've been trying to say that all year, but he has out against all Packers. He's not totally wrong, but once he's healthy, he's the guy. But that's the thing. He is healthy. They've been telling us that he is healthy. They keep saying it over and over and over and over again, and they keep saying that he is healthy. So you can't sit here and tell me that he's not. That's the part that's just killing me right now, is that they tell everybody every week that Jones is healthy. We need to unleash him. I remember those specific words coming out of the coach's mouth, and he's done nothing with that. So we'll know when he's healthy when he actually does well. Come on, guys. Come on. It's like waiting for something to happen, and you keep saying it. Come on. Anyway, yeah, I know I'm messing up your timestamps. I don't mean to do it, but you guys are forcing me to do it. I'm blaming you, Mr. CEO. I'm blaming you. All right, let's move on to the Steelers, who are 6-3, going to the Browns at 6-3 as well. A good AFC South or North matchup. Cleveland is favored by 1. With the change, it opened up at 4, and then news happened with Deshaun Watson and changed it. Now they are favored by 1. Over-under was 36. It is now 33. That is a huge dip. Huge dip. Browns with the news that Deshaun Watson is being out for the season, and it will be Dorian Thompson-Robinson as their starter. They also announced that Jaylen Warren will be the lead running back for this team. Let me rewind that. He doesn't play for the Browns. But let's get into the Steelers part of this. Pat Freiermuth, Deontay Johnson, they were full participants. Freiermuth is still needs to be active. Malik Fitzpatrick will be out for this game. Jaylen Warren has been named the starting running back, so he will be playing today, or he will be the starter in this particular matchup. Ron asks a good question. Would you play Jones or Warren? I'm going to play Jones because the Cleveland defense is absolutely insane. So that's where the fun is that they have a better matchup overall, or the Packers have a better matchup. And it's one of those things that I still, going against the Chargers makes more sense than Warren going against the Cleveland Browns. I can't do it. But there's only very rare scenarios that I'm going to be playing Jones. So, you're giving me all the lower name guys. So Ronald says, no, they did not say Warren is the starter. They announced him as the starter. Then Najee got the first 5 rushes. But yeah, no. They just announced him this week as the starter. He will be the guy to touch the ball the most. I am paying attention. So let's not get the questions yet. So in this game, Browns, you have to take into account DTR. He's at the point where I'm not playing him unless I have nothing better, or I have something better. I'm really not playing him. I think this really hurts guys like Amari Cooper. I think it only helps a guy like David Njoku. I think this will help Ford a little bit, but I don't think it helps Elijah Moore. It doesn't help Amari Cooper at all. So those two guys kind of take a back seat for me. So I'm not really thrilled about the Browns' offensive side of the ball. They're going to have to play a strong defense like they have been all year. Steelers side of the ball, Pat Freiermuth coming back is huge for Kenny Pickett. Also huge just for the offense as a whole. It gives them someone to kind of take focus off the outside and kind of move a little bit of the coverage to the inside. So this should help out Deontay Johnson a little bit, George Pickens as well. Jaylen Warren should be a decent play, but unfortunately, this is a very tough matchup for him. So if you have better options, I would pivot to it. I'm forced to play him in one league, and I'm just going to have to live with it. But Deontay Johnson, I'm pretty confident in, even though, like I said, it's a good defense. So we're going to have to wait and see how that game turns out. This is a really big defensive battle. I kind of don't want a lot in it because of the 33 over under. So I'm not trying to load up on that team, but if I have a player or two that I need to play, I have to play him. This is one of those bye weeks where we still have 4 teams out on a bye. Next week, no one's going to be on a bye, which is the stupidest thing in the world. But this week we have Falcons, Colts, Patriots, Saints. We have a lot of people out. You might need to play them, so it's worth it. But yeah. So let's get back to some questions that we have in the chat. We have Soothing Music going. What do you think about Tyreek and Olave for Lamb and White? No. Keep what you got. Then he goes, or would Garrett Wilson instead of Olave still be good if I'm getting Tyreek? If you're the one getting Tyreek, So if you have Lamb and White and you have Garrett, I would be giving Garrett and White for Tyreek and Olave. Yeah, I like the Tyreek and Olave side. So if you're getting Tyreek, then that's fine. But if you're not getting Tyreek, so yeah. Yeah. If you're the one getting Tyreek Hill, that's fine. But if you're not, no dice. Sorry. Can't do it if that's the case. All right, let's move right along to the Bears at the Lions. Bears are 3-7 heading to Detroit to face the Lions, who are 7-2. Detroit is favored by 7.5. The over-under is 48. Bears had Khalil Herbert as a full participant this week in practice. He's expected to be activated, but has not yet. They have until tomorrow at 4 o'clock to activate him, so keep that in mind. Justin Fields was active, a full participant in practice. He is suited. They said in the beginning of the week he's the guy, so it looks like he's going to be starting. Lions are going to be without Jonah Johnson, that one of their guards. That's about it. Their team is healthy otherwise. So we'll get to see how this team, fares. This is their first meeting together. NFC North should be a really good matchup in Detroit. So for me, this looks like fun. I definitely want to, anyone I can in this particular matchup, especially on the Lions side of the ball. Gibbs, Montgomery, Goff, Amon-Ra. I think all 4 of those guys are more than capable. Laporta, of course, is always a good option in this particular matchup. For the Bears side of the ball, I think everybody is a little bit more viable now just because Justin Fields is here. Fields is, good in his own right. If Khalil Herbert plays, I don't think he's a great option to play. But, sorry, let me rephrase that. I think he will play, but I don't think he's someone that you would, obviously start. I would probably start Roschon Johnson over him. Right now, Deontay Foreman is questionable. They haven't said that he isn't going to play, but he's definitely got a downgrade. But at this point, I think based on the particular game script, they might involve Roschon Johnson a smidge more than they would normally. And they did involve him a lot more when it became evident that they were behind. So I would definitely think about that. Cole Kmet, you can play until, you can continue to play. Cole Kmet has been doing fantastic lately. It might take a little bit of a downtick now that Justin Fields is here, but I mean, he started his big run with Fields. So we'll have to wait and see, honestly. So I like a lot of players in this particular game. I think this is going to be one of the better games to watch if you have the opportunity. So I'm liking this game a lot. I'm hoping that Jared Goff does well. Sneaky play, Donovan Peoples-Jones is should be starting. I haven't heard any word that he won't. I know he was injured last week and didn't play. But Donovan Peoples-Jones, just keep an eye on. Just someone to just keep your one little eye right there waiting, because I honestly think he has an opportunity to do well and could be in a really good spot for this team moving forward. So, all righty, let's move it right along to the Chargers, who are 4-5, going to Green Bay to visit the Packers, who are 3-6. The Chargers are favored by 3. The over-under is 44. Another reason why I constantly tell you guys about this stuff. Like, this is half the reason why I hate the Packers. They're already they're 3-point underdogs at home. Like, come on. Chargers have Gerald Everett listed as out. Keenan Allen is questionable with a shoulder injury. He should be fine. Jalen Guyton is listed as questionable as well. So the only healthy receiver at this point is Quentin Johnston and Eckler. But other than that, Pack is pretty healthy for the most part. No one's on the injury report that matters. On the offensive side of the ball, they do have 2 defensive guys that are out with Jair Alexander and Gary. So just be aware of that as well. Chargers, throw all of them in. I'm pretty good with all that. Throw in the Chargers. Pack, I just, like I told you, this might be the opportunity for them to do well, possibly, because Chargers are horrible against the wide receiver. So guys like Christian Watson, Jalen Reed, and Romeo Dobbs should be okay options, but they are definitely the low end of the totem pole, maybe a flex play. I do like Jalen Reed a little bit more than I like the others. That's just my opinion. I think Jalen Reed is a very talented wide receiver and has been playing very well lately. So he is definitely someone to keep an eye on moving forward. Christian Watson has not been the player that he was last year, and he needs a guy like Aaron Rodgers to be able to get him there. And unfortunately, Jordan Love is not that guy. Jordan Love, you can play in certain situations just because you're kind of forced to based on where you drafted him. And then Luke Musgrave, I'm just not comfortable playing. I think he's a middling tight end too. So I'm not playing him unless it's really needed. So that's all I have to say about that particular game. Let's go to the chat. We see Rasta going, did you hear the report that Demont was supposed to go in when Gibbs got the goal line, but Demont told him to stay in and go get it? Hey, man, that's freaking awesome. Like, I love hearing that. I love them being teammates like that, being able to, communicate that and be able to be like, bro, go get it. Like, I'm good. Like, let's go. Team. Grit it out. Like, I love this Lions team, man. I'm a Giants fan, down to my core, but I'm loving what the Lions are doing this season. Was a big fan of them for the last couple of years. Love what I saw on Hard Knocks. Love Dan Campbell as a whole. I mean, I just think he's one of the better coaches in the league. Just, passionate about what he does. And, you can see that from his players and who he chooses to be there and who he brings on to his staff and all that stuff. It was sad when they lost Deuce McAllister because you could see the chemistry between the OC and the DC. But both are, doing well. The whole team is just doing so well. Really enjoy watching the Lions as, a good team. So hopefully they can continue that against the Bears. All righty. Let's move right along to the Cardinals, who are 2-8, going to visit the Texans in Houston at 5-4. Houston is favored by 6 points. The over-under is 48 points. Texans are going to be without Dameon Pierce. He will be out for this game. They will be getting back Nico Collins. He is looking like he will be coming back this week. He is off the injury report. No tag on him. So this is the weird part. Noah Brown did not practice all week with a knee injury after his crazy good week last week. He's listed as questionable. I keep seeing even Sleeper put out a thing that saying he was out. So I'm getting mixed reports of him being either out or questionable. I'm going to consider him doubtful until further notice. If he plays, I'm probably not going to play him. If you're not practicing all week, there's a reason for it. They didn't seem optimistic in the press conferences. D'Amico Ryans said, we'll see. A lot of just unsure about Noah Brown. He did a great job while he was out, while he was in. But you're not playing Noah Brown unless you're, very desperate. Nico Collins, I'm playing. I have no problem with that. But other than that, I think Devin Singletary is definitely worth playing at this point. I think he is pretty much taken over that role for the Texans, and he's been doing well with what he has. I think Dalton Schultz is playing well as well. You can't not play anyone in this particular offense, to be very fair. Cardinals have Michael Wilson listed as questionable. Demaric I'm going to butcher the name, so thank you guys in the chat. DeMarco is going to be out for this game. It doesn't really matter. Connor is back, so I think you can load up Connor. I think you can load up Kyler Murray. I think everybody else, even Marquise Brown should be okay, but I don't think they're going to do great. I would have low expectations for those particular players just because this is more of a run funnel defense. Or no, pass funnel defense, if that, that's how they call it. But at this point, I'm just going to focus on the Texans side of the ball more than I would on the Cardinals side of the ball. Rushing collusion, what's going on, man? He goes, do not accept super chats. That's a good question. Rasta would be the guy to ask. He's in the chat. He will get back to you. We haven't gotten to that point yet. I think we have to. I think our viewing numbers have to go up. So please make sure you guys are watching the videos. Make sure you're liking and subscribing if you haven't already. So yeah, we're almost there, but not yet. Not yet. That's a Rasta question, but that's okay. Either way, like I said, load up your Texans, Cardinals. You can definitely put in. I feel confident in guys like Murray and Connor. Everyone else is So, nope. 1,000 subscribers is. What do you mean by the threshold? I thought we can start doing it after 1,000. Or is it 2,000? Who knows? Doesn't really matter. Russian, throw your question in there. I'm here to help you out. It is what it is. Just throw your question in the chat. I'm here to help out. Believe me, we want to make money, but at the same time, it's not the end of the world. So throw your question in. We'll get there. Yeah, there we go. Anthony goes, Russian soon. Keep watching. We need the watch hours. We did hit the subscriber numbers for it. We're trying. We appreciate it though. Yeah. See, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I kind of know some stuff, Ron. Come on. See, I have to bring back the fact that, hey, Ron, I know you're watching. I just need you to tell me something. Was I right about Noah Brown last week? I want to wait. I'm going to wait. I'm going to give us dead air time to see if I was right about Noah Brown last week. Didn't I say play Noah Brown? And what did you say to everybody? Not to play him. So, was I right about Noah Brown last week? Okay, last week is all I care about. I don't care about moving forward. I don't care about rest of the season. Last week, was I right about Noah Brown? I need my props, my friend. I said it. It became true. That's all I want. I was right. He got the Nico targets, and that was the point. He's the same build. Same build. What up, Carl? He goes, hey, what's up, fellow degenerates? What's going on, Carl? Glad to have you back. But he's injured now, and Nico and Woods are back. Yeah, no. So, yeah, he falls to the wayside. All I'm trying to say is that I told you to play him last week. You told everybody, don't. That's all I got to say. Anyway, let's get out of this Texans-Cardinals game and move on to the next game. We got the Titans, who are 3-6, heading to Jacksonville to face the Jaguars, who are 6-3. Despite having a rough few weeks, Jacksonville is favored by 7 points. Over-under is 40. The Titans have Hopkins and Henry. They were on the injury report. They're off of it now. They practiced in full today. They're off. Always know that those two guys are probably not going to be practicing Wednesday and Thursday and then, practice in full on Friday. And sometimes they're not going to practice at all, and they're going to play on Sunday. So just be aware. Treylon Burks, he is listed as out. He is still dealing with his head injury. So just, prayers up to him. Hopefully he's doing okay. I know he's having a rough, anybody that's trying to come back from an injury like that, it's rough. Jamal Agnew, he's listed as out for the Jaguars. I think in this matchup, it's a little bit different. I think that you kind of have to pull back on your Titans. I'm okay with playing Henry. You kind of have to. But I think Will Levis is going to be in a really tough spot. I think the Jacksonville has one of the better pass defenses in the league. Just with the pass rush that they have, with the young talent of guys in that front seven, I really would be a little bit questionable with that particular play. Hopkins, I might play just because, it's Hopkins. Why not? Beyond all that, Jaguars, I'm loading up everybody, especially the passing options. Kirk, Ridley, Ingram, throw them all in. They're going to do just fine. Travis Etienne has been doing fine all week. The only problem is that we have to hope that Trevor Lawrence does well as well. He's the way that they can, succeed. So hopefully this is a good matchup for Trevor Lawrence. He's been very underwhelming recently, and hopefully he can come back to his former self going against a division rival. I'm a little bit nervous playing him in a lot of leagues that I have, but unfortunately, if you have to play him, you have to play him. I have him in 3 out of 7 leagues, and I got to play him in all 3 of those leagues. So at this point, you kind of have to do it. So, all right, let's get to some questions that have been jumping into the chat. We have Soothing Music. He goes, what about Tyreek and Pittman for CD and White? Okay. Soothing, you have to kind of give me context here. Are you trying to get Tyreek Hill? Because when you phrase it the way that you are in the chat, it makes it seem like you are giving away Tyreek Hill and Pittman for CD and White. That's my dilemma here. If you're getting Tyreek Hill and Pittman for CD Lamb and White, awesome. I like it. But if it's the other way around, I don't like it. I want Tyreek Hill and Pittman. Those are good, those are good players. But CD Lamb and White, they're good on, they're good overall. But yeah. Rushing conclusion, what's going on? Or collusion. Sorry, my bad. He goes, I have Burrow, have Love. I can trade for Dak or Tyler. The team that has Dak and Tyler need running backs. Yeah, I'm kind of curious on who Tyler is. I'm assuming you mean Kyler. And if it is Kyler, that's fine. So Love, have Love. I can trade for Dak or Kyler. The team that has Dak and Kyler needs running backs. My team is Burrow, Love, Pollard, Jacobs, Kamara, Edwards, Singletary. Holy but Jesus. And then you have Debo, Kirk, Addison, and Cooks. Holy but Jesus. Okay. And that's not including Deontay Johnson, Tyler Musgraves, and then you have Higgins on IR. It's not Tyler Purdy. It's Brock Purdy. Okay. All right. So you can trade Dak or you can trade for Dak or Kyler. I would trade for Dak personally, even though I believe me, a lot of people listening to this would not agree to me. But I think I would go with trading for Dak. And if you had to trade a running back, I would go with Edwards after his wonderful week. Trade him high, sell him high for Dak. That's what I would do. Keep Pollard, keep Jacobs, keep Kamara. Trade Edwards. Keaton Mitchell is right behind this kid. I think Gus is going to do well. He has 9 touchdowns in the last 6 games. I mean, you can't go wrong there. Or no, he has 10 touchdowns in the last 6 games, which is insane. But at the end of the day, you have Pollard, Jacobs, Kamara. Jacobs and Kamara are, on their own are great. See, you're not going to be able to give up Singletary for him. That's the whole point I'm making. You can try for Singletary, but I don't think it would work. I think that you would have to give Edwards, but I would try Singletary first and then counter with, when it comes back with Edwards. But I think but I don't think I wouldn't roll with Love. I would try to trade Love too, to be honest. Edwards and Love for Dak or something, but I would definitely, no, that's fine, brother. I just wanted to be sure. And you are definitely a Dallas Cowboy fan with the amount of Dallas Cowboys you have. You kind of want to diversify the best you can if need be. And yes, that's Brandon Cooks. Yeah, I already knew that was Brandon Cooks. That's why I didn't want to. Nope. So, like I said, in this particular equation, Edwards, Singletary, one of those two, Singletary first, Edwards second. I think it's going to take Edwards, though, because based on what just based on things, like just the way that things are going, I'm going to feel like Edwards is the guy that's going to get you what you need for Dak, if that's who you're looking for. I prefer Dak over now you got me doing it, over Kyler Murray. That's just my own opinion. He's got better weapons, better line, better everything. And they're not looking to tank. They're looking to win. So I like Dak a little bit more here. But, that's just me. Oh, he wants Debo? No. You're better off rolling with Love or finding a guy on the waiver wire. Like, if Sam Howell's on the waiver wire, grab Sam Howell. Like, there's really no point in spending Debo for Dak. Sorry, brother. Not happening. That's not happening. Oh, no. Yeah, no. Just let it be. Just move on. Tell the guy, nope, sorry. Because that's just unrealistic. Carl goes, did you really just listen your whole team on here? Yeah, let him. I don't care. I got, all these questions are for our Wednesday show, though. So make sure you guys come back on Wednesday. We got Rasta in the house. I know that the deadline for Yahoo is tomorrow. So I know a lot of people are trying to get trades in. So it's not a big deal. Just throw them in there. So Raja, what's going on, man? Raja Usman, my bad. He goes, I traded Godwin and Stroud for Chase and Lockett. I have Herbert, Pollard, Swift, CeeDee Lamb, Waddle, Addison, Kittle, Goddard. Nice. If you can, sure. But the only thing that I would buy is a running back. You have Waddle, you have CeeDee Lamb. If you could flip Chase for a good running back on someone that thinks that they have something with Chase, and this isn't a dynasty league, this is just redraft. If this is redraft and a PPR league, go find a good running back that you could go, win your league with. Go for, I don't know, David Montgomery. Go for Jacobs, ETN, Eckler. Actually, no. Scratch the last two. Go for Eckler or ETN and just see what you can get off of that. I think that's probably your best bet. So if you're going to try to flip him, go for those guys. Don't sell him for anything less. TH, what's going on? TH, how you doing, man? He goes, would you trade Ramondre and Tank Dell for Kyron Williams? Happy PR. No, I would not. No, I would not. I would not. Ron? Yeah, no one's going to give you that, but you're going to definitely try. Don't give Chase away for nothing. Try for Eckler and Travis Etienne, and then realize that you're going to get someone like David Montgomery, Joe Mixon, like one of those guys. And no, I would definitely not trade Tank Dell and Stevenson. Tank Dell is the main key of that particular trade. I am not trading away Tank Dell for Kyron Williams. I'm sorry. Understood there, Soothing. We want to help you get the right move. That's all. I want to get the right information to help you. I'm not trying to, belittle it or anything. I'm really just trying to get the right way to go about it. So, sorry about the confusion. I just am trying to work a trade. I have CD and my running backs are Etienne, Hall, Bijan, and White. Okay, so you're on that side. Got it. What if I did CD and Bijan for Tyreek and Olave? All right, so you think, okay, so you have a ton of running backs and you're trying to get Tyreek to give CD, Bijan. I mean, that's not a horrible trade. I would definitely, now that I see it the way that you're sending it and the way that you said it before, be the one going for Tyreek. I'm good with CD for White. Start there. Next step, if he counters for the Tyreek and Olave, if he counters with something else, throw it back to him with CD and Bijan, and then go from there. That's what I would do. Now, honestly, I would prefer to just have Tyreek. Like, kick Olave out of that particular equation. I'm good with Olave. I like him. It's fine. I'd rather have CD and Tyreek Hill if possible, if there's a way to make that work. But I understand from what I keep seeing from this particular grouping, I mean, you could probably trade Bijan and White for Tyreek straight up. But White and CD for Hill and Olave, I'd be okay with. That's fine. I would do that. The first trade that you did at the top, Lamb and White. That's what I would do. Don't worry, Russian. Carl understands. It's fine. I don't care if you put your whole team. I like knowing full teams, to be honest. I'd rather see the full team on there because otherwise I'm sitting here trying to figure out what you should do and just off the, my head, I need more information. If you're just telling me, should I play this guy or this guy, or I'm going to trade this guy for this guy, I need to know what you got. Otherwise, it doesn't work. So, Russian, I appreciate you sending it. Carl, don't worry about it. We're good. Move forward. This is a fun show. I hope everybody has a beer. I hope everybody has like a little thing of liquor if they have it. I don't have my beer in front of me. It's fine. Enjoy your night, guys. I'm excited. This is a Friday night. We're getting right before the weekend, right before our week 11 matchups. I'm excited. Let's keep this thing moving. We're going to go to the Raiders, who are 5-5, going to visit the Miami Dolphins at 6-3. Miami is favored by 13.5. Whoop. Over-under is 46.5. Dolphins. A-Chain is listed as questionable, but he is not activated yet. People understand he is not active yet. He will be active, but he is not activated as yet. Just be ready for when he is. Raiders are pretty healthy on their side of the ball. I think the only issue that they have is their left tackle is still hurt. Other than that, I think they're pretty healthy. So for the most part for this game, I think you can't go wrong with playing most of the players on both teams. I mean, you're going to only play Jacobs and Adams on the Raiders side. So boom. Dolphins, you're playing all of them. Just throw them all in. It's worth playing all of them except for guys like Jeff Wilson. You can't do. Raheem Mostert, A-Chain, Hill, Waddle, Tua, all. Start them all. They should be fine. This game with the over-under where it is, the favorable matchup, it's good. Got a lot of high line or a lot of high spreads this week. So it should be an interesting week. So that's all I would do here. This is pretty, open and shut. The next one's going to be the exact same, unfortunately. So we got JJ McVeigh. What's going on, man? Glad to have you here. If you aren't subscribed, please subscribe to the show. And if you haven't already, like the video. We have a 10-man PPR. Running backs are Gibbs, White, and Breece Hall, and Pacheco. Wide receivers are CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra, Mike Evans, nice. Debo, even better. Should I trade Evans and Breece for Keenan Allen? Looking to upgrade at the position. I don't hate that idea. Don't hate it at all. I think you have a good group of guys right there. Trading away Breece and Keenan Allen. Breece and Mike Evans. You know what? I wouldn't go with Breece. I would try to go with White first to see what they do. Like, try to go White and Evans first for Keenan Allen and see if that works. Let them counter, and then, I think I'm not going to disagree with you, Ron. I think it's a little much for Keenan Allen. But honestly, I don't know. I don't know if you should be, like I'm saying that you shouldn't give Hall away. Hall, no, not worth your time. But White, Pacheco, one of those two with Evans, I would be a little bit more like I would feel more comfortable on your side of it. Just because that feels better to me if you're trying to get Keenan Allen and bolster your wide receiver group. I think you have a pretty good wide receiver group and a pretty good running back group, to be fair. So it's one of those things where I don't know if I would go so far as to try to make it better. I think you have a pretty good team the way it is. I think you're pretty upgraded at, with Amon-Ra, CeeDee Lamb, Mike Evans, Debo. I mean, you're pretty stacked at this point. So I don't think you should try to. Sometimes it's not. You shouldn't get too cute with what you have. A lot of people try to just go trade happy. Don't. Just sometimes it's good the way it is. It got you to where you are. There's no point in trying to, mix it up too much. That's just my opinion. I made one trade this year. Like, I try to make as many as I can. I throw trades out to everybody all the time, but only one trade came back. Like, there's no point in trying to push it. Trust me. Drunk Squidward in the house. What's going on, brother? Glad to have you here tonight. Miss you. Hope everything is going well. He says, should I start Tua or go with the hot hand with Josh Dobbs? It's a great question. I think I'm going to go with Tua here. I just feel a lot more comfortable with it. I think the Broncos did a lot last week to show us how they were able to, I wouldn't say corral Josh Allen, but kind of make him look a lot less than he was. So I'm going to start Tua just because I know the matchup and it just seems like a better idea. Tua's quick with the ball out of his hand. I think that's going to be effective going against a guy like Max Crosby. I think they're going to have to change up the way that they are But either way, I think that is I think 2 is the better option here. Rushing collusion. He goes, different team. Would you start Khalil Herbert and A-Chain? My other, I'm assuming, my other running backs are Foreman, Bijan, Singletary, and Javonte need to start too. I would probably start HN and this is a tough one. I'd say HN and Singletary. Those are the 2 I would start. I don't think I would start Khalil Herbert yet. It's basically, I think it's HN and either Singletary or Javonte Williams for me. I feel a little bit better. I like Singletary just because he's got no one behind him to really compete for anything, really. I mean, Mike Boone is their only other guy. It's going against the Cardinals. Cardinals are not that great against the run in general. They are, where are they on my list? Cardinals, yeah, they're 23rd against the run. I just feel more comfortable in that particular boat than I do with Javonte against the against the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota is currently 11th against the running back. I feel more comfortable with Singletary, and I know that seems weird, but I do like Singletary here over Javonte, even though I like Javonte a lot more. He touches the ball a tad more. He still has 2 other guys behind him. One technically. Samaje is injured. But at this point, I like A-Chain and Singletary for this particular matchup. So JJ McVay said, I tried to offer him White and Pacheco. He didn't want, but I figured I have too many players. They all can't start. Feel like I should try to upgrade. Seems like Keenan's been my best offer. Okay. No, like I said, definitely try, but I would start low and then kind of build it up. There's no point. I talk about this all the time. My friends don't understand it, but I keep trying to make them understand. I'm not going to offer, to me, when I'm making a trade, it feels like I'm going to a freaking yard sale. And when I go to a yard sale, I'm not going to go, hey, here's $100 for a Creed CD. Like, that's not going to happen. I barely want to pay $1. So in this case, I'm going to offer less and see what happens. If I say, hey, I'll give you $1 for that CD. Oh, no, I want $5. Okay, cool. We'll work it out to be 2.5. And then you have an answer. That's why communication is key when it comes to trades. It's good to have good communication with your friends. Try not to belittle them and make them think that their trade is so horrible, which apparently is my particular fault, which I don't think it is, but that's what they tell me. But at the end of the day, you want to try to aim low. So aim low with those 2 guys. Like you said, you did Pacheco and White. Okay, now try White and who did you have? White and maybe Debo. Like, keep Evans. Do White and Debo or Pacheco and Debo. Like, one of those 2 combinations to get Keenan Allen. I would feel a little bit better about that. Give it a try. Ricky Rice, what's going on, Ricky? Glad to have you on the show tonight. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and make sure you like the show. He goes Dobbs or Fields for week 11 and this Miracle Whip inedible. And is Miracle Whip inedible? I don't mind Miracle Whip. Wait, Miracle Whip's the mayo? No, I don't like Miracle Whip for some. I used to like Miracle Whip as a kid. I don't like it anymore. Dobbs or Fields? This is a great question. I think I'm going to lean Dobbs here. lean on what has been, he's been doing. I do have Fields probably ranked. I think my gut is just saying Dobbs. I have Dobbs at 15. I have Fields at 13. So they kind of split the difference there. I think Detroit is a better defense than Denver slightly. So I'm going to go Dobbs. Just feel a little bit more comfortable. Yeah, go with Dobbs. Roll with your hot hand. Is Barkley a start still? That's gross. Squidward, why are you asking these questions? I know I'm a Giants fan, but it sucks. Appreciate you. Get right. Yes, sir. Go get right, man. Enjoy your day. I hope you have a great rest of your night. If you have any other questions, though, throw them in the chat. We still have a few games we're going to go over. We're going to be here for probably another 45 minutes, if not less. We got the Giants, the Bucks, the Jets, the Seahawks, Vikings, and Eagles games to go over. So we're going to be here for a couple minutes. So keep throwing your questions in the chat. We're here to have a good time. Drunk Squidward, let's go back to your original question. Is Barkley a start still? I still think he's a running back too. I think he can still be started in certain matchups. I think this week he has a decent matchup. Washington is 15th against the run. So I feel more confident than I did last week, but less confident in general. I think they've had time to kind of work the offense to work in his favor and kind of make things, a little bit easier for him, hopefully. But we'll have to wait and see. I'm going to be talking about the Giants in a few minutes, so we'll get into that shortly. You then go Hollywood or Devin Singletary. Out of those two, I think I'm going to go Devin Singletary here. See, the funny part is I don't play Singletary, he goes off. I play Singletary, he takes a shit. I feel a little bit more confident with Singletary this week. So he'll probably get you 2 points. No, I'm only kidding. I think Singletary will do just fine. I think they're trying to get him a little bit more involved in the offense. So, and Ron, I actually agree with you here. That's why I was telling him to make sure he can do that. So hopefully he can get that, or, hopefully he can make that type of trade. That might work out pretty good. Rushing to conclusion. I like it. Wide receiver rest of season. Aw. Thanks, Rasta. So, wide receiver rest of season: Brandon Cooks, Kirk, Garrett Wilson, Quinston Johnston, Christian Watson, Michael Wilson. Ooh, and you want me to rank all these guys? All right, it's gonna go Kirk Wilson. Johnston, Cooks, Watson, Wilson. Sorry. So I'll do it again. Christian Kirk, Garrett Wilson, Quinston Johnston, Brandon Cooks, Christian Watson, Michael Wilson. That's how I'm ranking it. I am very, very, very low on Watson. And Ron is kind of agreeing, except for the fact that he says Wilson. He says Williams instead of Wilson, but it's Wilson. So he just switched up Cooks and Quinston. That's how I feel. So I don't feel like his, but mine's just the opposite. I think Johnston has a good opportunity to do well in this offense. Allen's a little banged up. Guyton is hurt. Like he's their most consistent option right now. So yeah. Make sure you guys check out, if you haven't already, make sure you guys watch the 1,000 subscriber giveaway video. We will be giving away this 1,000 subscriber ring. So please check out the video below, follow the instructions. Make sure you guys are also subscribed to our affiliate podcast right here, the Fantasy Frontline podcast, the Check Down podcast, and our Dead Zone Fantasy show for our good buddy Dem Boys. So make sure you guys check all of them out. All righty. Getting back to everything. Yes, Palmer is hurt. Guyton is in. Yeah, but he's still questionable. And Palmer is out for the next 3 games or 2 games. So he'll be back at one point. But still, I still think that Quinton Johnston has a good opportunity in that offense. So, all right, let's move this right along to the game of the week. No, I'm only kidding. Giants at 2-8 going against the Commanders, who are 4-6. Commanders are favored by 9. Over under is 37. Commanders looks like Antonio Gibson is doubtful for this particular game, so most likely out. Other than that, the Giants are going to be short Evan Neal. They will be having a Dory Jackson and they're going to have Jalen Hyatt and Kayvon Thibodeau. Okay. You can play Barkley. You can play. That's about it for the Giants. For the Commanders, you can pretty much. I think you can go Brian Robinson, Terry, and and Logan Thomas. I think Dotson. He had 2 good games, then nothing. Two. Maybe he's on the upswing on this one. I don't know. I don't see it yet. So for me, Brian Robinson should be a good play. Sam Howell should be a good play. I'm playing the Commanders defense. So, little things like that. Like, this game is just a tough one for me to even break down. But honestly, Brian Robinson should do fine. Logan Thomas should do fine. Scary Terry should be fine. Load him up. Should have a good game. Even Curtis Samuel maybe should do okay. But based on the over-under right there, Brian Robinson should be the better play. So, all righty. Let's get to some questions that came through the chat. We have Taco Cheese. What's going on, man? He goes, hey, man, I need 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, 1 flex, 1 tight end. All righty. So you just want your team. Got it. Full PPR. Connor, HN, Ford, Waddle, Nico Collins, Rice, Kincaid, or Laporta. Oh, why do you have to give me Kincaid and Laporta? It's always the worst one for me. All right. You're going to load up HN. You have to. Wide receiver, you got to go with Waddle. Waddle is a must start. Flex, this becomes a little more complicated. It's between Connor and Ford. It is full PPR. God. Why are you doing this to me? I'm going to go Connor here. And then for tight end, it's, oh, God, I hate this. I'm going to go Laporta. I like the matchup a little bit better. Kincaid's going to be going against the Jets. Jets are tough against the QB, but also have a tough time against tight ends too. They're just an overall great defense. I think the Bears are a lot more beatable through the air. I think that Laporta should do just fine in that matchup. I like Laporta moving forward. I do like Kincaid as well. I think Kincaid is a top 10, tight end as well as Laporta. So I'm going to go HN, Waddle, Connor, Laporta. And let's just be clear. This whole grouping of players, I love all of them. Love Nico Collins, love Rice. I think this is just a great group overall. But yeah, let's go HN, Connor, Waddle, Laporta. Hope that helps you. If you aren't subscribed, make sure you subscribe and or like the video. All right, moving on to the 4 o'clock window. We have the one game I forgot to put a one game that I forgot to put a banner up for. I am sorry. I'm very sorry there, Rasta. I'm going to do it right now. Just because I want you to have everything that you need to do things later. So, we have the Buccaneers at the Niners. Buccaneers are 4-5. They're going to be heading out west to meet the 49ers, who are 6-3. San Francisco is favored by 12. The over-under is 41.5. Baker is fine. He did have some sort of thumb injury on Sunday, but he is fine and will play this weekend. Other than that, everybody's healthy. So in this matchup, I think you can play everybody, with some certainty. Like I think Baker's been playing very well lately. I think Godwin's not a horrible play. Mike Evans has been playing out of his mind. Right now, the only thing in this particular offense the only thing for the Niners defense is they've been getting beat through the air. Oh, whatever. I don't care. Then you fix it. You were just in there. You can go fix it. I think you can play the options for. I think you can play the options on both sides of the ball. I think White's fine, Baker's fine, Godwin and Evans should be fine. Even Caden Nodden, sort of. I probably wouldn't play Caden Nodden unless you absolutely have to. He's going to be covered by Fred Warner or by Funga, and I think that's a really tough matchup in most situations. On the other side of the ball, you are definitely playing Christian McCaffrey. You definitely are playing Brandon Ayuk, and you're definitely playing a guy like Deebo Samuel. Brock Purdy is probably the one guy in this whole thing that I would have a question about, but I still feel a little bit better about playing him just in general. He's been playing very well lately. So Brock Purdy, load him up. I think that's really it. I mean, you could pretty much play anybody in this particular scenario. So, hey, look at Ron. Ron agreeing with me for once in his life. He agrees. He agrees with me from the last one. So, I had a question fly in. Give me 1 second. So, Russian conclusion. He goes, I need 5 starters out of the group. Okay. Brandon Cooks, Kirk, Christian Watson, Garrett Wilson, Johnston, Kincaid, Laporta. Was thinking both tight ends. So, yes, I'm okay starting guys like Kincaid and Laporta. I think I would go Kirk, Wilson, and Quinston Johnston. That's what I would do. I have no problem playing Kincaid and Laporta. I think those two get enough volume that I would play them. I think it would be Kirk, Wilson, and Quinston Johnston. I think Johnston has the best matchup, to be honest. Cooks is playing the Panthers. Panthers are better against the wide receiver than people think they are. They're actually a pretty good rush defense as a whole. Carolina is third against wide receivers. So just be aware of that. So I'm good with playing Kirk, Wilson, Johnston, Kincaid, and Laporta. That's my that's what I would do. Chargers are going against, who are they going against again? The Packers. Packers are against the wide receiver. Pack is 6th. Carolina is 3rd. So, I mean, I'm just taking the better matchup here. I know that Jair Alexander's out for this game, so I would feel a little bit more comfortable playing that particular matchup. I know he's going to be against Keenan Allen, but either way, he gets a lesser D-back in that game. Go with that. All righty. Moving right along, let's get to the other 4 o'clock game. We have the Jets, who are 4-5, going against the Bills, who are 5-5. Buffalo is favored at home, 7 points. Over-under is 39.5. Bills added Josh Allen to the injury report with a right shoulder injury, but he was a full participant and then lost the injury designation today. So he was added this afternoon with the right shoulder injury. Just be aware. Garrett Wilson is listed with an elbow injury. He is listed as questionable. Wilson said to reporters today that he will be out there and playing. I would still have a pivot option. Saleh didn't sound as optimistic. He did say, we'll see. So I would be cautious. I would definitely have a 4 o'clock or, have somebody at 4 o'clock just in case. But it looks like he might play. I'm actually benching Josh Allen in one of my leagues. I am not playing Josh Allen in this particular week. I have the luxury of having some decent options at QB where I can play a guy like Jared Goff. I sent out a thing on Twitter this week where trying to get an idea of where people feel about Josh Allen currently. And it was Josh Allen, Burrow, Goff, or Brock Purdy. And I'm pretty good with Goff. And I'm playing Goff over Josh Allen this week. It's definitely against popular opinion. I know that it doesn't seem right, but to be fair, he has been he's been having a rough time with turning the ball over. They just lost their OC. The Jets are actually very good against quarterbacks. They've been holding them to decent numbers recently. So for me, I felt the need to change it up a little bit. So I'm going to go with Jared Goff this week over a guy like Josh Allen. We'll see how that turns out for me, but I do feel a lot more confident in Goff's matchup than I do in Josh Allen. I know that Josh Allen, who he is, I understand he's QB1. I know he's one of the best QBs in the league. Unfortunately, he just hasn't been showing that lately, and everything is kind of crumbling. I think Sauce Gardner is going to do well with matching up with Diggs. I think what teams are doing is shutting Diggs down, and it makes it very difficult for them to spread the ball out to other options. Gabe Davis is he's not a solid wide receiver too, unfortunately. I did like him last year. But I do think at this point, it's one of those things where they might try to run the ball, which is tough because the Jets are very good at running the ball as well. So overall, I'm trying to stay away from this particular matchup unless I absolutely have to. I think James Cook could be okay, but based on how they use him is going to be the tough part. I hope that Sean McDermott is basically bringing in the new guy and being like, "Hey, run the fuck out of James Cook." Like I hope that happens. But we'll wait and see how that goes. I think Kincaid is a decent play in this option, in this particular offense. You're definitely playing Breece Hall. You're definitely playing. I think you can play Garrett Wilson with some confidence. Other than that, I don't think you can play many other guys on the Jets. But Kincaid is good. Diggs you're playing regardless. Cook, James Cook, and you can play Josh Allen at your own risk. I'm not playing him this week. It's sad, but yeah, that's what I would do in this particular scenario. So let's get to the chat again. Got lots of questions, which I love. So keep them rolling. J Media in the house going, what's up, fellas? Looking good under the bright spotlight as always. Classic. Thank you so much, my friend. Trying to keep it nice and bright in here. Not like I'm always bright. Rushing conclusion. He goes, let's subscribe to this channel. This guy has great recommendations. He deserves from us to be able to super chat, support, and subscribe and like. Thank you, man. I do appreciate that. Believe me, I do this for you guys, and I'm glad that you guys are saying that. It's a lot better when it's me and Rasta in here. We can actually bounce things off each other. He'd be telling me I'm stupid. It makes things a lot more fun. But I appreciate what you're saying. So thank you. Really means a lot to me. Chandler, what's going on, man? Great to have you here. If you're not subscribed already, listen to the guy above you. He said to subscribe. He goes, my QB was Burrow. Hey, man, I know how you feel. I just lost Burrow too in one of my big leagues. And now he's dead. Have some offers. Let me know if you like any. Sam Howell or Purdy for Connor and Amari for Kyler, or Mike Evans for Josh Allen. Thought 6-point pat. Okay. For me, I mean, I want to know a little bit more about your team just to give you a better perspective on which side of the ball you're weaker at, wide receiver or running back. I would be okay if you're trying to trade for Purdy or Howell. I think that is a cheaper option for you. I don't think it's worth trading away Mike Evans for Josh Allen. I can't do that. I would prefer someone like Sam Howell or Brock Purdy. I think those two are better options just because they're a little bit cheaper. I don't think I would go with Kyler Murray. I just don't feel comfortable with Kyler Murray as a whole. He's coming back from his ACL surgery. Sam Howell's been playing pretty well. He's QB6 on the year, which is insane to think about. Purdy has been doing very well. He has great weapons around him, great system, great schedule. I'm okay with either Howell or Purdy here. So if you can trade one of them, trade whoever you have for Purdy or Howell, I feel pretty confident with that. Don't go for the guys at the top. It's just not worth it. So, yeah. So QB non-running back, Pollard, Etienne, Kyron Williams, Connor, wide receiver. Okay, so you gave me a list. Okay, cool. So Allen, Evans, Debo, Amari. All right. So where are you weaker? In this case, you're not. You're pretty right down the middle for me on both ends of the ball. You're pretty balanced, which I like, man. I love balanced teams. I think you can go without Connor to get Purdy or Howell. Still don't like it though. Maybe Amari. Maybe you can trade Amari for try Amari for Brock or Howell. I would go based on your opinion. You can listen to Ron too, but honestly, I like going for you wouldn't be too weak at QB going for a guy like Brock Purdy or Sam Howell. I think you're giving up less to get more instead of giving up more to get less, essentially. But yeah. Yeah, this is when I would tell you not to listen to Classic. Yes, go get Josh Allen for Mike Evans if you can. Duh, Classic. Nah. I always just feel different about it because I'd rather pay less for something that is – I mean, yes, Josh Allen is QB1, but giving away Mike Evans, who has been doing very well lately, is not worth it in my opinion. I would probably try to give away a guy like Amari Cooper and – something else, or I don't know. I pretty much wouldn't do anything unless, I like playing with a guy like Sam Howell or Purdy. I like those guys a little bit better. That's just me, though. You guys can make fun of me all you want. J Media, what's going on? Wait, okay, hold on. So he goes, and he has Josh Allen still, so go get Josh Allen. Yeah, but then he has, if he lets go of Allen, he has Debo, Amari, and Ridley. Amari and Ridley are basically shot. So you're giving up too much. Amari and Ridley are good bench pieces at this point. I'd rather have the wide receiver group trade away Connor and get a guy like Brock or Sam Howell. Just Come on now. I know he has Keenan Allen. I'm not an idiot. All I'm trying to tell you guys is that there's no point in trading all of that away. Why trade away Mike Evans for Josh Allen when you can trade away Connor and still have a decent group? Amari Cooper and Calvin Ridley are basically bench fillers. They're there to help you. Just saying. Like, they're there to fill in when needed. You guys are killing me. Anyway, wide receiver for me. You got DJ Hopkins against Jacksonville or Nico Collins versus Arizona. Or don't tell me still Jacoby Myers. No. I would go Nico Collins here. Nico Collins. So, Jack Harold, what's going on, Jack? Glad to see you here. Should I trade Dak and DJ Moore for Mike Evans, Metcalf, and Kyrie Williams? I have Lamar and Ayuk on my team. No. I don't think I would. Oh, wait, for Mike Evans. Yeah, no, okay, then I would. Sorry. Yeah, if you're getting the Mike Evans side of the deal with Metcalf and Kyrie, yeah. Yeah, I would do that. Sorry, it's taking me a minute. It's 11:45 here on the East Coast. Give me a little bit of credit here. Roz says, enough said. You just said QB1 like it wasn't a big deal. This is why I need to be on with you. Yes, I understand it, but come on. It's not. It's really not. I'd rather have both. Hey, guys, if I drop Will Levis, will a desperate manager pick him up? Yes. Someone will. Someone will pick him up. Someone's going to go back to his first day and think back to that. The answer is yes. Someone will pick him up. Exactly. Who cares? Let him go. It's fine. Not the end of the world. Always remember, it's not the end of the world. All right. Let's move right along. We're almost done here. We got the Seahawks, who are 6-3, visiting the Rams in LA at 3-6. The Seahawks are favored by 1. The over-under is 46.5. Matthew Stafford should be good to go. He's been practicing all week in full. He should be on the field, which is great for Cooper Kupp, great for Puka Nacua. Lots of good things can come from this particular matchup. Seattle, they will have Lockett. He is listed as questionable at this point. He should be playing. I didn't hear anything against the contrary. They aren't missing much else. So in this particular case, this should be a good matchup for both sides of the ball. I think you're playing Kupp. I think you're playing Puka. I think you can even play Darrell Henderson in some, situations, even though Seattle is pretty good against the run. I think that in a pinch, you can go with that. On the Seahawks side of the ball, I think Lockett is probably your best play if you guys follow, or if you guys are on Twitter. One of the guys that I follow, Jordan Verdansk. I always get his name wrong. I'm sorry, Jordan. But Jordan is one of the best out there. He put out a thing that Tyler Lockett against cover 4 and cover 3, which the Rams tend to play quite often. He actually succeeds in those particular defenses. So Lockett, I think, is the best bet for this particular scenario. I think Lockett is a good play. I think Ken Walker is someone that you're going to play, but I don't think you're going to like it. I think you can play both quarterbacks. I think, some situations it might be necessary. But for me, yeah, I think I'm going to be okay with playing Stafford. Actually, no, I probably wouldn't play Stafford. I'd play Geno. I would wait to see what Stafford does. But you're playing Cooper Kupp without a problem. I think Cooper Kupp is in a good scenario. So, all right, let's get to some of these questions in the chat. Nope, there we go. So, rushing to conclusion, he goes, who to start at QB? Fields, Love, or Stroud? Stroud. This is the exact boom. Listen to that right there. Roster tells Jack, I guess you can if you need to, but otherwise I'd keep Dak and DJ Moore, even if you're not playing him. It's better than playing against him. Sometimes not making another team stronger is just as good. I completely agree with this statement. Sometimes it's not worth trading at all. Don't trade unless you have to. People trading like crazy. Dom in the house. What's going on, Dom? Glad to have you here. Should I start Amari Cooper or James Conner at the flex? For me, I'm starting James Conner. James Conner for me is more volume, more guaranteed the touch. Houston is a pass funnel defense, which means that you can run on them. So, yeah, I'm going with that. Yes, sir. I like it. We got Junk Squidward going, should I start Sutton or Calvin Ridley? I'm going to go good old Sutton. Roll with how he's been doing and the involvement with him and Russell Wilson. He is such a good receiver. People underestimate this guy, man. People underestimate. There we go. So, exactly. I'd roll with Conner until we see DTR and Amari have a good connection. He did okay in the first start earlier in the year, but I want to see more. Agreed. You're just more guaranteed the touch. You're going to see James Conner touch the ball a ton. It's a good particular matchup for him this week. I'm good with it. I'm definitely rolling with it. All right, let's get to Sunday Night Football. We got the Vikings, who are 6-4, going against the Broncos, who are 4-5. We were just talking about Sutton a minute ago. We'll get into that now. We got Denver, who is 2.5-point favorites, going against the Vikings at their own home. Over-under is 42. Justin Jefferson is listed as questionable this week. He still needs to be activated by tomorrow. So he is not activated yet. He is listed as questionable to play. He was limited all week. Nothing shows that it will happen. So you got to keep an eye on it. Alexander Madison is listed as questionable and is one step from clearing concussion protocol. He has to clear tomorrow to play. So Kevin O'Connell made it seem like he should be okay. So Alexander Madison should be all right. KJ Osborne should be available as well. So they're getting a lot of their offensive weapons back. Josh Dobbs has another week under his belt. Broncos, Samaje Perine and Garrett Bowles both were added to the injury report today with ankle injuries. So be aware of that. Either way, it's not many crazy health problems on this side of the ball for the Broncos. Courtland Sutton, I'm playing. Feel confident. Javonte Williams, feel confident. I like him. He'll play. Russell Wilson isn't a horrible option in this matchup. Play him. He tends to do a little bit better in primetime. Always has in the past. I like it. Josh Dobbs, he's been playing out of his mind. I don't think you're in a scenario right at the moment that you can't not play him because you have so many people out. So I would play him. I think he's okay. I think the bigger question for me is if Justin Jefferson comes back this week, do you play him? To me, the answer is you're going to have to. I think you have to play Justin Jefferson this week. If he plays, I would lower your expectation. He's not going to put up what Kirk Cousins did with him. Kirk Cousins is a completely different quarterback comparatively to Joshua Dobbs. And it's one of those scenarios that Justin Jefferson worked well with a guy like Cousins because of the fact that Cousins, one, targeted a lot, two, was an accurate thrower. And in this case, Dobbs, the quality of target is a smidge different. I'm not going to take away what he did the last few weeks. He has been incredible and has played very well on the run and, and keeping teams on their toes. But this is not how the Vikings usually play. So I think you have to play Justin Jefferson this week. I think Jordan Addison is still a good play as well. I think Alexander Madison should do well. Hawk will be there. They're going to have their whole offense. So this is going to be a fun game to watch. Overall, if he's available, I think you have to play him. But I would lower my expectations. If you have better options, which you probably don't, but if you have options where, you have guys that are top tier guys like CeeDee Lamb or Keenan Allen or something like that, where, you've maybe acquired through like third round that you picked up. I think that you could probably sit him this week and be okay and wait until next week. But in some scenarios, you might not have that luxury. If you're not, then I would play him. But like I said, I would temper expectations. Sutton, you can play. Jerry Jeudy, I just don't trust. Just not worth your time. Javonte Williams and Sutton and Russell Wilson are the guys that I would play in this particular scenario. Rashid Rice or Cortland Sutton. I'm going to go Cortland Sutton. I feel a little bit more confident in that. Even though I do like Rice, I think I'm going to play Sutton. And Ron goes against that. That's fine. Rice for me, but it's close. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Sutton in that particular matchup. All righty. Moving right along, we're going to get to the last game of the night. We have the Eagles at the Chiefs. The Monday night game. Eagles 8-1 going against the Chiefs at Arrowhead. 7-2. Chiefs are 2.5-point favorites. The over-under is 45.5. Both are coming back from a bye. Both are healthy. This game is going to be Taylor Swift and Kelsey the whole game. That's all that's going to be talked about. It's going to be annoying. It's going to be just painful to watch. I don't want to hear it. Don't care. Good for Taylor. I'm happy for her. Really am. But I just want to watch football. I don't care about seeing her in the crowd. Good for her that she's there. Like, a lot of people go to these things all the time. They don't go and constantly show their face anyway. So, anyway, this is going to be a good matchup. Play everybody. There's really no bad play here. Right now, Dallas Goedert's out for the season. That kind of hurts everybody. It helps everybody in some ways. Helps guys like Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith should have I think that he can improve moving forward. I'm not playing any of the other tight ends at this point. I think Stroll is someone that I don't even want to touch yet. Maybe he's a waiver wire add a little bit later, but there's no point in my opinion. I do think that Smith has does better moving forward with this particular change in the offense. Swift is fine. We're going Hurts, still going A.J. Brown. On the Chiefs side of the ball, Rashid Rice, of course, he's been the top target for wide receiver. Kelsey and Pacheco with Mahomes. I think this is just going to be a really good matchup. Play everybody that you can. And enjoy. I mean, I'm not playing guys like Tony. I'm not playing guys like Watkins or anything like that. Like I'm going to stick to the main guys. So that's it for me for those particular matchups. So we did it. We got through it. We got through all the breakdowns. I got a couple of comments left in the live chat. We got Russian to conclusion. He goes, JJ will not play if the team is smart. It's Mile High, which will not be good with his tissue issues. Injuries, I think I will come back week 12, limited with bye in week 13. Hopefully, we'll see what happens, man. These guys, they try to push them a little bit. Sometimes they ask for it. I don't know if he plays. That's why I keep saying, like, in this particular scenario, if he does play, do I want to play him? Not really. I'm not confident that he can do what we want him to do. And is it smart to play him? No. I really would prefer playing someone else if possible, but I know a lot of people, when they see him come back, they're like, shit, I have no other option. Sometimes they're right. I'm playing a guy today I'm playing a guy this week that's playing Michael Wilson and Brandon Cooks because he has so many guys on bye and he has no one else that he can trust as his wide receiver. If he had Justin Jefferson, he'd be wanting to play him this week. He has A-Chain. He's playing A-Chain coming off the bench, and he had nobody. He had Charbonnet and Alexander Madison. He almost had to play just one of those two guys over A-Chain, if A-Chain isn't in. So, hey, man, lots of questions, lots of, things going on. It's going to be a rough week. EK Price, what's going on, man? Glad to have you here. We're actually wrapping things up as we speak. But if you have a question, throw it in. I'm going to try to get to it if I can. Ron, you're a pain in the ass. Of course I do. I have eyebrows. They're right here. I'm not like Josh Dobbs here. I don't shave my eyebrows. I got eyebrows. They're white as can be. And wonderful things. So EK Price goes, trade away Rashid Weiss and Singletary for Saquon, tied for close sixth place. No, I wouldn't trade those guys for Saquon. I'm sorry. I'm a Giants fan. I wouldn't even trade for Saquon right now. No. Don't believe Ron. Don't do it. But I think Singletary would be the only better play for this week with Pierce out. Yes. I would not trade. Ron, take a second. Please just take a second. I would not trade for Barkley. And here's why. Okay. We're going to go look at the Giants' schedule right now. Okay. Giants are playing Washington this week. Okay. New England next week. They get a bye week, then Green Bay and New Orleans. I don't want any of that. I don't want any of that. He'll get volume, but I don't know. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't feel comfortable with it. Rushing to conclusion goes, Mike, great show. First time tuning in. I am and will be a fan. Thanks, man. I really do appreciate that. I love getting new fans all the time. So please join us every Friday. I'm here every Friday night. This is a little earlier than what we normally do. Normally we start at 11 o'clock Eastern. We usually roll a little bit later. But we are here. I'm here every Friday and every Sunday. And then my buddy Anthony and Frank are here on Mondays and Wednesdays. So check us out on those days as well. We are, like I said, I do also Sunday morning at 11 o'clock. So make sure you guys check those shows out as well. Have a great night too, man. Really appreciated everything you did. So thank you for the support. So starting lineup is, what are your time? I'm East Coast. So for me, it's 12 o'clock here, but normally we do 11 o'clock Eastern time. 11 o'clock Eastern time on Fridays is the normal show. I usually try to, we usually try that unless Rasta can't be here. If Rasta can, I try to do a little bit earlier just so I can get a little more sleep. On Sunday mornings, I do 11 o'clock Eastern. And then for the other shows, Mondays and Wednesdays, it's usually around midnight Eastern. So just be aware of that. So wait, EK Price starting lineup is Stroud, Cooper, Adams, ETN, Pollard, Kmet, and Nico Rice Singletary at flex. With Saquon, it's Stroud, Cooper, Adams, ETN, Pollard. Okay. I mean, you can do it, but lower your expectation. Yeah, I guess if it doesn't cost you anything, but yeah, I just don't feel comfortable with it. I'm a Giants fan, and I'm telling you that. I almost didn't play Saquon this week. I almost played Tyler Boyd over him. So, I mean, I did play Boyd over Evan Ingram, but it is what it is. Just temper your expectation. When a team is one-dimensional, it makes things much more difficult and makes it very difficult for the guy that is the one dimension. So, yeah. See, yeah. Just saying I'd rather have the other two guys just because they're good depth pieces, but that's just me. I'm less likely to do that, but I understand why. You do need, based on what I can see here, you need a better wide receiver than you do a running back. So that's why I never see the show. I'm upstate New York and get up at 4 a.m. for work on vacay this week. I will try and tune in. You should post your times you are on in your background. It's a great idea. I will work on that. Also, listen to Rasta. We have our Sleeper channel as well, so check that out. So if you're part of Sleeper, we have a private channel that you can be a part of. We are always involved in that as well. Everybody, not just me, not just Rasta, but a lot of people. We have a very big community. I'm from New York myself. I'm actually from Long Island, so I can completely understand your why you wouldn't be on. But it's all good. Either way, I appreciate you being here. I'm here every Sunday morning at 11 a.m., so I will be here in the morning. So if you ever have last minute start sit questions, I'm usually chilling in there, and I got a bunch of New York guys in there because it's the one time they can actually, tune in and not be 12 o'clock at night. So make sure you guys check that out as well. I'm here on Sunday morning, help you out with last minute starts. I do some DFS, actives, inactives, all that fun stuff. So come check us out. I'll probably have my buddy Martin on in a few weeks as well. Get that going too. Try to collab between the both of us. Always great to have more people involved. So thanks for thanks for coming in today. Really do appreciate it. And yes, it's on the scroll bar at the bottom. It's a little hard to see. So, oh my God. Mr. Grapefruit, CJ Ham or Mike Boone. Jesus, what type of league is this? I'm gonna Mike Boone? Jeez. Mike Boone. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Mike Boone here. Ew. What type of league is that? Oh, 16 team PPR. Oof. Ron was close. I'll give Ron credit there. 16 team. Jesus. Oh, deep bench. Yeah. That's a deep bench. You got a lot of guys on bye, too. Holy shnikes. I mean, Mike Bell had 3 targets for 6 yards. Oh, my God. Let's see. Let's see Ham last week against New Orleans. Yeah, at least Boone will give you a couple. Holy shit. Wow. Yeah, go for it. Lower expectations, but go for it. All right, all. I'm going to be starting to wrap this thing up. I'm exhausted. It's 12 o'clock here on the East Coast. I am trying to get some sleep eventually. First, please make sure you guys check out our affiliates, the Fantasy Frontline podcast with Tim and AJ, as well as the Check Down podcast with Cody McGoats and the crew. They are every Wednesday at 8:30 Eastern, so make sure you guys check them out, as well as Adam's show. He should be coming out with content shortly. He's just trying to get life together and get that content out for you guys. Also, make sure you guys check out TrophySmack.com and the video from before. I know Rasta posted the particular video in the chat, but you can get a chance to win this ring right here. Make sure you watch that 1,000 subscriber video, and make sure you guys fill out the comment as well with the hashtag, just so you can get a chance to win this ring. We're going to give it away Wednesday next week, so make sure you guys tune into Wednesday's show right before Thanksgiving so we can give away this 1,000 subscriber ring. But also check out all the other fun stuff that they have at TrophySmack.com. They have this belt that you can customize to your own league, that you can customize this trophy. Same thing with this chain. So check out all that stuff from TrophySmack.com. Got all this, all faith and get right. Love y'all for what advice always. Thank you, man. We appreciate that. Damn grapefruit. That's a man's league. Yes, sir. Have a great night, everybody. Night. I appreciate everybody. So thank you all for joining. Also, before you guys leave, make sure you guys check out Underdog Fantasy as well. If you haven't registered already, make sure you guys register over here and use the promo code GETRIGHT. They will double your first deposit up to $100. So make sure you guys check out Underdog Fantasy and use the pick'ems and all that fun stuff. It's a great site. Make sure you guys enjoy that. We have the, well, I guess that's an old one. Wow. Anyway. Geez. So rushing conclusion, make sure you check below in the description. We have everything linked to our particular socials. My particular, hold on, I've been kind of, oops, there we go. This is my Twitter account right here. You can follow me at Classic Mike GRFN. We also have at GetRightFF on Twitter. So check that out as well. If you go to my page, you can find the Get Right, page, and you can find Rasta. You can find everybody all from, around that. There you go. Get Right Fantasy. There you go. Yeah, we got everything. All of our stuff there. We're also, my particular hashtag or my particular tag for Sleeper is the same right here. It just has the hyphens between the name or the lower dash or whatever the fuck it's called. So wait. Hey, Rasta, does Mike have eyebrows in person? Yeah, me and Rasta have never met in person yet. So yeah, no, I do have eyebrows. So go fuck yourself. But yeah, just check out all that stuff. It's in the description. I'm at Classic Mike at GRFN. Look me up, follow me. I'm a fun follow. I go around. Oh, is it underscore lower dash? Yeah, whatever. But yeah. Yeah, do the Burrow one. What the fuck? But yeah, check us out on those. We are always on Twitter trying to post new things and trying to get more people involved. We have a wonderful community throughout Twitter as well. But make sure you guys check out our Sleeper channel, which is also in the link below. Everything you need is in that description. We're here for you guys. That Sleeper channel is private. We are a big group of degenerates that just love fantasy football. That chat doesn't stop all year round. I give injury updates all week long. I pretty much will give you updates before Sleeper does. So join our Sleeper chat. Make sure you guys are in there. I've been trying to move things down a little bit and not give as many notifications. I've been trying to keep a little bit more defensive news out, or like offensive line news or stuff like that, unless it's important, of course. But I've been pretty much, just trying to make it so that it's not as crazy. But I want you guys to get all the info as soon as possible, unless I'm like busy that day, because I tend to get a little busy here and there. But either way, check out all the stuff below. And no, I'm not moving the threads at the moment. I have too many good friends on Twitter, and I'm gonna keep it there for now. So hope everybody has a wonderful week 11. Good luck to everybody in your week 11 matchup. I will be back here on Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern time to help you with your last minute start sit questions. And then Rasta and Frank will be here on Monday to help you out with your, waiver wire targets and some overreactions, as well as some roster management, which is almost over because of the concept that trades should be shutting down soon with trade deadlines just around the corner. So make sure you get your last minute trade questions in for Rasta and Frank next week on Wednesday. And then we're back here we might be back here on Friday. We'll see how things go. It is Thanksgiving, so we'll see how everything turns out. There is a game on that Friday as well. So make sure you guys have your lineup set by Wednesday, just because we're going to have 3 games on. I think it's 3 games on Sunday, and then on Thursday, 1 on Friday, and then the rest are on Sunday. So make sure you guys get your lineup set next week. Make sure you're aware of all the games going on. It just makes things a lot easier for everybody. I hope everyone has a wonderful week 11. We'll see you soon. For Frank, for Dustin, for Rasta in the chat. Hope everyone has a wonderful week 11. We'll see you soon. Peace.
Wanted to white fantasy is the play. Marking nothing, but I tune in every Friday. Strategies provided.